we have a very important concept in 5G, which is the dual connectivity concept. You'll find it presented by two letters, which are short for DC. So DC stands for dual connectivity. Is the concept of dual connectivity in 5G? Well, no, it actually appeared at the end or in the end stages of 4G. And then specifically, it appeared in the 5G non-standalone. Let's type it here so you guys can get a better look. 5G non-standalone, okay? So again, it appeared specifically in the 5G non-standalone, which depends on the G node B, and at the same time also depends on the 4G EPC core. So the term of 5G dual connectivity became important here. So again, the dual connectivity only appears in the 5G non-standalone. Dual connectivity is the ability of the mobile to connect to 5G RAN and 4G RAN at the same time. The 5G RAN is represented by what we said, the G node B, and the 4G RAN is represented by the E node B. So, will the user be connected to two radios at once? The answer here is yes, both 5G and 4G. But in the past, they were connected to 4G only, which was the E node B, or 3G only, which was the node B, or 2G only, which is the PTS. But in non-standalone, he will be connected to both the E node B and the G node B. So that means when the user receives traffic from the internet, like Facebook, for example, he will receive it by these two radio nodes, the G node B and the E node B. Now let's give an example on how the traffic will look like. Let's choose a different color. So the traffic comes from here, the S gateway, going to the 5G, and at the same time also going to the 4G. Then the traffic that went from the 4G will go to the user, and the traffic that went from the 5G will go to the user. This is from the user plane traffic part. Now, what about the signaling side? The signaling side, it will go, let me just put this, okay. So from the signaling side, it will go to the 4G E node B, from the user to the 4G E node B. And from the 4G E node B, it will go to the 4G core, which is the MME. And of course, if there's traffic on 5G, it has to deal it has to deal with the E node B, right? So this traffic here, it deals with the E node B, so that it can go to the EPC. Now, moving forward, we have two terminology that we need to know in the dual connectivity. Something called the master cell group. Let me just put this in a different color. So it's the master cell group. And the other one is called the secondary cell group. Okay. 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 Now, the master cell group is the one that handles the signaling of the user. This means the signaling can't go both ways, but your signaling only goes just by one radio node, which is the E node B. And the node or the radio or the RAN that handles the signaling is called the MCG, or the master cell group. And the one that only handles just traffic is the SCG, secondary cell group. So a common question here, does MCG, or the master subgroup, handle both signaling and traffic? The answer is yes. The SCG only handles traffic. So if you want to open a session, you will first send your signaling to the E node B, and from E node B to the MME. And then you start handling your signal. Once the signal is handled or adjusted, the data traffic will be done by the G node B. All right, that will be done by the G node B and the E node B of the 4G as well. Okay. And of course, from the user to the 4G and 5G, then it will go to the S gateway here and there as well. And of course, the S gateway here will go to the PGW and will let you then go to the internet or data network. So this is the idea of the 5G non-standalone dual connectivity. Okay. So this. Now, a very famous example of this 5G non-standalone dual connectivity, you as a user, if you are streaming an ultra-high definition video, this means that the traffic of this video that needs a very high bandwidth will go to which RAN? It will go to the 5G or the E node B, G E node, sorry, or E node B. Which one will go to? Your user connected, again, remember this part, your user connected both E node B and G node B. So the traffic of the video will go to the 5G or the 5G RAN. At the same time, there are background applications that are running like sports applications that always send you a notification, maybe that a goal went in for a club, for example. So this is called background traffic. But does it need high bandwidth or high traffic? The answer is no. And in this case, I'll refer the traffic to the E node B. Okay, E node B. So I'll let the G node B here be responsible for the traffic that needs high bandwidth. And I'll let the E node B be responsible for the traffic with low bandwidth, like the background notifications that come from me. Now, let's recap all of this again. So in 5G standalone, I have a very important concept, which is the dual connectivity, which is referred to as DC, which I enable the user to connect on both 5G and 4G at the same time. So he can connect to the E node B, which is the RAN of 4G, and at the same time connect to the RAN of 5G. And from the core side, he will connect to the EPC, which is the 4G core. I have two things which are signaling and user plane. The signaling is what I do before the session, like browsing or downloading, which is my user plane. There has to be signaling first. And I have then user plane, which is the traffic itself. The signaling is handled by the master subgroup, which is the E node B that handles the signaling and user of the signaling of the user, and at the same time handles some of his data traffic. I have another term, which is the secondary subgroup, which is the G node B that handles only data traffic. Now, aside here, let's type some or type the benefits of the dual connectivity. First benefit is larger bandwidth. So you as a user, when you use 4G and 5G at the same time, as you have a very high bandwidth, so you can use the background traffic on 4G here and the streaming on 5G there. So this will give you very high data rates and of course high capacity as well. Second thing is the reliability enhanced. This means if you have interference coming on 4G, so 5G will do its role as you're actually connected on both anyway. So you're connected on the LTE and at the same time connected to the 5G as well. So if you have interference with 4G, 5G is working well. So you as a user won't have any problems at all. Now, third thing is load balancing. So I can distribute the load on two things. Instead of using just one radio, I am actually using two radios, which are the 4G and the 5G. So I can distribute the load so it's impossible for congestion to occur. So let's say that there's a party or a concert, for example, on this site or of the LTE site. So I can let the user be actually connected to the 5G so I can distribute the load. Now, fourth and last thing as well is the coverage extension. Take care that this can be actually an interview question, as they may ask you, what do I do? Why do I need the dual connectivity? Or why do I do the dual connectivity? You have to mention these four things. Now, in coverage extension, you need to understand that in the early days, 5G, it won't be available everywhere in your country. So when you're connected to 4G and 5G, when you're connected to 4G and 5G, you're actually expanding the coverage. So your data sessions won't be interrupted, okay? These are the benefits and the main concepts of dual connectivity non-standalone. And in the next session, we'll be discussing the 5G deployment options.